Kiwi are pretty fantastic. One of the things I like about them is they've got this kind of feisty temperament, but they're also incredibly cute and adorable. They live in some of our most wild, spectacular wilderness. Just rows of mountains upon mountains, impossibly steep, plunging in vertical walls into deep, deep waters. It can be cold. It's one of the wettest places in the world, and it can rain and rain for days and days, like it's doing right now. Okay, it's quite a faint signal, but that's okay. The little transmitters that the chicks carry are a lot fainter, and also it's got a bit of rock and earth to get through if that chick's in the burrow. So, going to plan so far. We'll carry on down and have a look. The chick's inside the nest with the father, so we're not going to disturb them. There's a transmitter on this chick, so I can follow what happens to it and see whether it survives or not over the next 6 months. But for now, they're right where we want them to be, just sitting tight during the day in the nest. So all I'm going to do is check the camera, change the batteries and the SD card, and walk away. We've got cameras at Nuts and Flicker's Flame's old nest, and filibusters follow up on what is hopefully a transmitter chick at that point. It's hard not to choose favourites, and I've got a few. I really like Filibuster and Fortuna. They're almost always the first to nest for the season, or among the first. The other reason is I just really like their territory. They're around a little lake that we call Lake Sweet Spot, and it's just a beautiful place to be.
I like Pegleg.
I quite like Pegleg too, yeah. You put his transmitter on, didn't you? His first one, yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling a little let down by him at the moment.
Gosh.
But fair. Nah, just kidding. So I work in a small team of me plus one, and then a couple of other people will come in and help out on field trips. The immediate team that I work in run a Tokoeka monitoring program at a place called Shy Lake in western Fiordland, one of the most remote places that I've personally ever been. We're about 60 kilometers as the helicopter flies from the nearest town or road end, but if I had to walk out of here, I'd be pretty stoked if I could cover it in 2 weeks. This is just the start of the season. We're going to get transmitters on as many chicks as we can, and then we're going to follow them until they hopefully grow up safe and sound. So we are just below the nest of Filibuster and Fortuna up this steep scrubby bank. I'm expecting there to be a chick in that nest. It's just a little bit further up. There's nothing in the nest. It's empty. Well, there are some fragments of eggshell in the nest, so I think it probably has hatched. I'll check the trail camera and see what that tells us about the presence of chicks. You can see the chick just poking about in front of the nest there. We've got real unlucky, so chick last seen left the nest just before sunset last night. And the adults have left the nest as well. I think there's a good chance that the chick will be with the adults, or at least the father, and it's worth making an attempt to go and find. When a male starts incubating an egg or brooding a chick, the transmitter can tell that just by counting patterns of beeps, like these ones. We can tell how long a male's been nesting and when we might expect a chick to arrive. You can see that there's kind of a bit of a root complex through here. I'm going to hazard a guess that the male filibuster is in there, and hopefully the chick's with him, so we'll go into stealth mode and sneak around. By sneak, I mean attempt to sneak. Oh, he's around here somewhere. Oh, there's about a million different holes. Spotted a feather, which means it's probably the right hole, but we'll see. The male is in there. I don't know if the chick's with him. I should be able to reach in, but I'll have to kind of do it blind. I won't be able to see. Fingers crossed. No chick. Balls. Yeah, the filibuster's on his own, so the chick's out there somewhere, but who knows where. We're not giving up hope yet. I'm going to pull up a weather forecast on the satellite device, and we'll probably wait out a big weather front that's coming in tonight, and in a couple of days we'll give it another go.
Reach with all the clear one leading down to Lake Sweet Spot, pretty much where you told me to go down. I've got a really clear chick signal just below me, so I'll probably just wait here till you guys get down. Over.
That's brilliant, thank you. Yeah, we can see you and your good old high vis, and we'll come round. I can't see any sign of a stoat having been at this. There's always going to be some natural mortality of kiwi chicks. We hadn't ruled out that that one might get a stoat predation, but I certainly wasn't expecting just a random death like that. On one trip, Fiction got one and Kia got one, and stoats had killed 3 of the 5 chicks. You can see a hole in the base of a beech tree here. We pulled some bark away, and you can see where the chick remains were cached. So the number one threat to kiwi in Fiordland is stoats. The adults are pretty safe, they're big enough and feisty enough to look after themselves and fend off a stoat, but the chicks are really vulnerable. And what we see so far in the study is that 0 of our chicks have survived, and most of those have been killed by stoats. Like so much of New Zealand's conservation estate, Fiordland is a huge wilderness, but most of it doesn't have any protection or predator control happening in it. We can't stop kiwi dying from natural causes, but we can stop them dying from introduced predators. This programme is an opportunity to ramp up the protection that we're giving to Tokoeka and Fiordland. We're reaching that population at a point where there's still something left to save. And that's why we're here, and that's what my job's about. So I'm here to put transmitters on those kiwi chicks so that we can find out exactly what happens to them and which ones survive and how many survive. And we can then use that to inform how often we need to do predator control to make sure that population is growing for the future.
Today we're at the load site for the Wet Jacket Peninsula's 1080 operation.
Local parents are just like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have nested on this super steep ground.
It's going to be the first time that I can be holding an amazing little Kiwi chick and think, you have got a future, buddy.